thanks for this thing happening. I think it's pretty cool that mental health is getting such a big stage for a whole day. I think mental health can kind of negatively affect people in loads of different ways. I know when I was in secondary school, as you are as well, I was quite badly bullied. When I went to primary school, I absolutely adored primary school, and it was kind of like I don't think sexuality had kind of come on the spectrum for people in primary school yet, so I was kind of allowed to be a little small Galen running around, and there was very little homophobia there, so I was kind of able to do my thing, and no one kind of questioned what you were in primary school. But then I remember I went to secondary school, and I'd just come out of primary school, and it was kind of like coming off a high, because when I was in primary school I was loving it. I was, you know, friends with everyone, the homework was really easy, there was, oh sorry bottle, there wasn't much maths, and I got the kind of lead in the school plays, I was kind of loving life, I had friends, and then I went to secondary school, and it was pretty tough. I remember going in first year with like a giant bag, I felt like a tortoise, and there was all these kind of giant people walking by me, and so I just felt really small, and I wasn't as confident at all as I was in primary school. So I went in, and because it was an all boys secondary school. Now I'm at a secondary school about 10 years now, and I think these days it's kind of embarrassing to be homophobic still. So back then it very much was, from my experience. So I remember walking through the school corridor, I'd get like elbows into the back, I'd get the notes with the word faggot in my locker every day. There would be scrawlings on the bathroom walls about me. People were kind of obsessed with my sexuality, and the fact that I wasn't comfortable with coming out when I was in first to third year or whatever. But I remember there was one guy who was like really inventive with the ways he would bully me, and he'd have new ways every day to try and get at me. I actually always thought he was quite creative. He'd be great in marketing or something, but not a great bully, because he really tried to make every day kind of hellish. And I remember, because like secondary school was like it was your entire world. So when I went through the school gate to 4:30, whatever, when we were going home, it was just constant a barrage of negativity on me. So I really suffered at home. I kind of became into a total shell, and I was really kind of mean to my parents, and only now in hindsight, I could be like, it was because I was getting so badly bullied. But this one guy anyway, he'd wait till like the class was quiet, and he'd whirl around to me, and he's like, so are you gay? Like, come out or whatever. And for me, I'm completely not comfortable with the whole thing at all, because all I would hear every single day in school was the word gay being used in a kind of offensive way or a negative way. So I was like, I don't want to associate myself with that. So I remember one day in particular, he passed a note around the class, which in hindsight kind of sounds a bit gas, but at the time for a 13-year-old who was completely not comfortable with themselves, it was not very nice. It was a survey, and it was how gay is James? And there was one column that was like not gay, very gay, extremely gay or something. And he attempted to pass this around the class, and he showed me before he passed it around the class what he was doing. We were sitting up at the front, and I was just like, oh God, like here's more like horror. So I remember I was sitting across from him, and I looked, and he tried to pass the note behind him, and there was one guy who intercepted the note, and he wouldn't let it go past him. And until that day, I was completely on my own. This was in third year. I thought no one else was on my side, and I was a total shell. But then when I saw that one guy stop the note going past him and not being able to be filled out, I was like, hang on. There's like nice people in the world. There's people who were maybe on my side. And it really completely changed my outlook on life. I became so much more confident from that day on, because I realized in my little world there's actually nice people out there. So I think there'll always be bullies, no matter where you go, in school or in the workplace. But there's always the opportunity for you or someone to step in and stop that bully doing what he's doing, disable him from being able to do that to someone else. I don't think we'll ever put an end to bullies being out there, but there's such a chance for one of you to look in your own environment and see if there is anyone who's suffering, see if there's the quiet person who looks a bit angry or whatever, and just keep an eye out for them, because that was me back then, like completely. So what I would say is try and be that one person to step in, because you can totally change someone's life, and that's literally what happened to me that one day when someone stopped the note going past him. Now, his creativeness kicked in, and he actually used, you know those big pens with the 4 colours? When he couldn't get the note past your man, he actually filled it in with one of those pens to make it look like 4 different people filled it out. So the bully was clever. So yeah, thanks so much for listening to me, and try and be that one person.